Hey, what's going on, guys? Wap here, bringing you another Pokemon Showdown session with another team that I have created. It's a pretty good one, too, and a little bit more tryhard than the last one. This one involves a Tapu Lele, which choice specs is broken. Not gonna lie, it's one of the mons that I think needs potentially banned, or is just one of the reasons that I can't wait for lower tiers to come into the game. Stealth Rock and Heligo, pretty standard. Lele and Exeggutor actually using a physical set to lure in stuff like Alolan Marowak and all that good stuff with Flamethrower as well for just coverage. Defog, Calm Mind, Tapu Fini, which is a not only a defogger but can also be a stall breaker and just a late game sweeper if need be. Jolteon with Choice Scarf, which is kind of an interesting choice. I don't know why it keeps changing my IVs. Stop changing my IVs. It actually has enough speed to... I'm just going to put an extra thing in case it does this. To outspeed base 110 Scarfers, which is pretty nice. And it also outspeeds things like Scarf, Kartana, and Ash Greninja, which is really threatening to this team. So basically it can lure those in, and they don't really... Nobody ever uses Choice Scarf Jolteon, so it really catches them off guard. And just a bulky but also offensive Sword Stance Scizor. This thing puts in tons of work and just destroys everything. Kind of broken, not gonna lie. Anyway, so let's look for a battle. I'm a little bit higher on the ladder this time. This is a little bit more tryhard of a team than the last one, but still a fun team, and still has some interesting stuff. Alolan Exeggutor and Jolteon are like never used at all, so yeah, let's see how this goes. I do have a bit of a ground weakness on this team, unfortunately, so things like Scarf Chomp I do need to really watch out for. Scarf Chomp kind of destroys this team, especially if Scizor gets weakened, and or if he predicts right and uses Outrage and kills my Exeggutor early on. Exeggutor is actually my only ground resistance, which is kind of a problem. And we have Rain. I'm not a fan of Rain, not gonna lie. Rain is scary. So I'm just gonna lead off with Heligo, and I think I'm just gonna fire off something. He's probably gonna lead off with Pelipper or Mamo, which I really don't mind. I highly doubt he's gonna Earthquake. If he does Earthquake, then I prevent rocks and can go up and set up with my Scizor. He does Earthquake, which is fine with me, and he is actually Life Orb. So, like I said, I'm gonna set up with Scizor, but he is probably gonna go out into Magnezone. And I don't know what kind of player he is, so I don't really want to predict, but I feel like he's going into Magnezone. And I'm going to go into Exeggutor. Now, predicting this early in the game is not the best thing, especially considering he just went for Earthquake. But he actually goes into Pelipper, which... Why? I don't know what that was. So, that's not the best for me. He does go into Pelipper, unfortunately. And, I guess I'm just going to go into Tapu Lele. He's probably going to Defog, or Roost, or something similar to that. Potentially fire off a Hurricane, and just destroy my life. Unfortunately, I lost my Heligo really early on. I kind of didn't notice the Magnezone, and he does not get a Confusion, luckily for me. So I'm just going to fire off a Psychic Terrain boosted Psychic. This thing is broken. As you can see, I do actually have Psyshock and Psychic. I don't like the coverage from Shadow Ball. It really doesn't help too much, so having kind of the option to hit on the special side or the physical side is great. So there goes his Rain Setter. He has no Rain for the rest of the game, which is great. He just has these probably 6 turns. And then I will not have to be very scared of his Kingdra. Honestly, Tapu Lele is going to probably sweep this guy's team once I weaken Magnezone, and Scizor pretty much just destroys everything. I'm considering changing this to a Life Orb set with HP Fire, but I'm really not too sure about that. So now he goes into Magnezone, and I want to say I'm safe going into Jolteon, but overall my best play is definitely just going into Exeggutor and probably firing off an Earthquake, or potentially just a Flamethrower. Even though it won't do too much to Scizor, it will weaken it. I'm expecting him to go into Scizor here. And like I said, I kind of just want to fire off an HP Fire onto his Scizor right away and weaken it a little bit. He actually goes into Mamoswine, which I'm okay with. I have a counter to it in Scizor. I'm just going to go out and do it so I can get my Mega Evolution off, have my bulk for the future, and just have a good time. I'll probably just fire off a Brutal Swing. Like I said, he's going to go into Magnezone, but I am actually... The Rain is actually working for me here, so I'm just going to go for Brutal Swing and get some damage off on his Magnezone. I predicted it last time, and he didn't go out into it, so he might just not go out and do it again. And I should be able to 3-hit KO with Brutal Swing, and he probably will not be able to KO me here. So it really depends on how much speed he's running. Yeah, that is a good amount of damage. Depends on how much speed he's running and if he's like a Scarf. If I'm faster than him, then I will actually just be able to 1v1 him. And actually, even if I'm slower than him, I think a Bullet Punch will be able to take him out after this next Brutal Swing. So there's no way he's going to OHKO me in Rain. Even if he specs, I really don't think it's going to OHKO me. It could, but I feel like it probably will not, with Rain helping me out. So let's go ahead and see what he decides to do. A lot of people don't expect Brutal Swing because knockoff is illegal in Sun and Moon. I am playing pre-bank, of course. But yeah, that seems to be specs. Seems to be specs. Maybe he is faster than me though, and you usually don't run fast specs, so it could be Scarfed, Modest, something like that, but that did a lot of damage. So I'm just going to be going for Brutal Swing here. Nothing really wants to take it too well. Everything will take a decent chunk of damage. And his Rain is almost over, which is amazing. So yeah, I'm definitely clearing the way for a Scizor sweep. Definitely clearing the way for a Scizor sweep. And Kingler comes out, and that is now weakened, which is just fantastic. And I really don't have a switch in for this. I really do not. Unfortunate. I'm going to go into Exeggutor expecting a Hydro Pump. If he goes for a Draco, it's fine. I really don't need Exeggutor. I'm basically just sacking this. If he goes for a Hydro, I will live it and also get my Citrus Boost up, which will be amazing, and the Rain will run out as well. And he could be Specs as well, so he'll just be locked in. I can go for a Flamethrower from there. Either way, it will be good. He does go for a Hydro Pump. And I want to say he is probably Specs. Most people are Specs on these things. So I'm just going to go for a Flamethrower. If he goes for a Draco, he goes for a Draco, and I can set up with my Tapu Fini. And everything is relatively weakened, which is nice. He does go into Scizor. Hopefully this KOs, which it does. Fantastic. Scizor is gone, and yeah. With Scizor gone, Tapu Lele, yeah, Tapu Lele pretty much just swept the entire rest of his team. Doesn't have Swift Swim on Kingdra anymore. I literally just swept him with Tapu Lele. I just won. That was it. That was a really short battle, so I'm actually just gonna find another one. And this guy is going to lead off with either Mamoswine or Gliscot. I can tell you that right now. And either one of those, I think I just want to lead off with Tapu Fini. I can defog against Mamoswine and also bring it down to its Sash. And yeah, that's what I was expecting him to lead off with, as he does. So I'm just going to fire off a Surf and kind of just figure out what kind of player he is. I don't like to predict first turn, and I would never advise that you predict first turn. He could be a Focus Slash lead, or he could be a Life Orb. He's probably Life Orb, just because he switched out right there. And Tapu Bulu comes out. This thing is broken. That's all I have to say about this monster. It is broken, but it doesn't get any Fairy type moves, so I'm just going to go out into Exeggutor and see how that goes. And we'll also be able to find out what kind of set he is. Most people just run Choice Band. I want to say that Choice Band, I am 4 times resistant to that and extremely bulky. But Flamethrower resistances. He actually does not have a Fire resist on his team. He's going to go for Flamethrower. He'll do a decent chunk to pretty much anything on his team. And like I said, he is probably... If he's Sub-Seed, he can't seed me. If he is... Pretty much, he can't do anything to me, regardless of what his set is. Unless he's like AV with Stone Edge, Nature's Madness. I don't know. I don't know what he would be running where he could actually hit me. But from the evidence, that seems to be banded. Celesteela comes out and takes a ton of damage from that. And I'm just going to stay in and keep Flamethrowering. I really don't care. Weakening this for Scizor is amazing. Again, Scizor could probably sweep this guy's team as soon as... Really just as soon as this is weakened, because Brutal Swing deals with Metagross. And Gliscot comes out. I really don't care. He's going for a First Impression almost always. I kind of want to risk my Tapu Fini here, because it cannot be hit by priority moves. But... I mean Tapu Lele. I meant to say Tapu Lele. But Tapu Fini is the safe option. I'm actually just going to go into Tapu Lele. I'm going to risk it. If he goes for a Leech Life or something, I'm in trouble. But he actually does go for the First Impression, which is amazing. So now I get to fire off a Specs Psychic, and nothing takes it very well. Even Metagross will take a good chunk from it. Tapu Bulu is probably just going to die. I want to say it's just going to die. No, it survives, but I don't see him being Scarfed. If he is Scarfed, then I hate my life. But he should not be Scarfed. I should definitely be outspeeding him as of right now. And he switches out into Metagross, so he just lets his Tapu Bulu take tons of damage for free. which is great. And my play here is... I don't know what my play is right here. I think my play is Executor. The main thing I needed it for was Tapu Bulu, and now I really don't mind if it gets weakened. He goes for a Meteor Mash, does a just stupid amount of damage. I did not expect that much damage, I'm not gonna lie. Now, I really regret this play now. I did not think that Meteor Mash would do that much. Alright, I think my play is just staying in and sacking this to the Meteor Mash and just trying to weaken it a little bit with my Jolteon. This thing is a huge problem to my team, I'm not gonna lie. I'll actually just go into Scizor. It can't get things like Fire Punch in this pre-bank yet, so I'm just gonna go into Scizor and just Brutal Swing. It'll do a good chunk of damage to anything, yeah, as Celesteela will actually be 2-hit KO'd from it. And unless he's offensive with like max speed, he's not going to be able to outspeed me, so I'm just going to go for another Brutal Swing. Either way, something on this team is going to take a lot of damage. And I think I actually might just win. And he is offensive. He is max speed offensive. That is not good for me. Oh, I just lost my win condition, man. That's not good. Do not appreciate that, and I would really like having Shadow Ball right now, unfortunately. So I'm just going to go into Heligo, I guess. A Power Gem will definitely knock this out. There's no way it will not, so I'm just going to go for that. Oh, this is really unfortunate. Pretty much everything's going to take a decent amount other than Metagross, which if Metagross comes out, it just kills me. This might be a losing battle here, guys. I might have to T-Bolt and go for the Paralysis on the Metagross in order to win, because Metagross just destroys the rest of my team. I actually did get the Para as well. I cannot. That's really good. That is amazing to have. I'm so sorry, dude. You did not deserve that. So now that it is paralyzed, I might be able to actually 1v1 it with Tapu Lele. As Earthquake. If Earthquake does that much, then yeah, this is not good. I think my way of dealing with this is just calm minding and praying that I can do something. Golisopod comes out. I don't think Golisopod can do anything to me at all. I really don't. I'm actually just gonna Moonblast in case he decides to try to go out into Tapu Bulu. He might go into Tapu Bulu, as he does not, and he looks to be Assault Vest, and he gets his emergency exit off, which is horrible, because now he's going to get a free switch into Tapu Bulu. Oh boy. I don't know if I'm going to be able to win this one, guys. This one's looking pretty rough. This team is a little too strong. I'm not going to lie. He goes into Celesteela. But why? I can definitely KO this. I feel like I probably should set up a Calm Mind, but I don't know what he's going to run. Okay, he has Leech Seed. That's weird. He's offensive with Leech Seed. That's a new one. So he just sacks a Celesteela to get a Leech Seed on me, for whatever reason. And Tapu Bulu is going to come out and pretty much just get a kill. Although he might be running like a bulky Tapu Bulu. That's probably my best chance. I'm just going to stay in and go for Moonblast. If he's running a bulky Tapu Bulu, I outspeed him. If not, I'm just going to have to surrender. Okay, he is actually running bulky Tapu Bulu. So I actually might be able to pull this one off. If Circuitry comes out, then I'll just spam some Shadow Balls and weaken some stuff. As Circuitry does come out, as predicted, I'm just going to go into Jolteon. I can take anything. If he is the Z-Power Hypnosis set, then that would be unfortunate, as he looks to be... That looks like Specs damage. Really looks like Specs damage, so I'll just go for Shadow Ball here. Like I said, there's no way that's not Specs. That has to be Specs. That is a stupidly huge amount of damage. And if he isn't Specs and I mispredicted that, and I misread the amount of damage that did, then that's just going to be GG right there. So I'll just see. I'll go into Tapu Lele. He might think that I'm Scarfed as well, because I haven't really gotten any huge hits on anything. So yeah, I'm just gonna go for a Psychic and pray that he's not Scarfed. If he's Scarfed, then this thing is too strong in terms of damage, dude. But either way, we could potentially just win with Hacks. That is actually Scarfed, but I do live. I did not expect to live that. If he goes into Metagross, I might just have to stay in and hope for defense drops, or special defense drops, to be completely honest. But I do feel like potentially Tapu Fini can just clean up. I'm probably going to sack everything and just try to set up for that. He goes into Mamoswine, he's probably sashed, but I can bring him down to his sash and potentially get off a little mini Heligo sweep here. Psychic Terrain is still up, and Power Gem kind of hits everything pretty hard. And Power Gem plus, once I get the Beast Boost and all that, I might be able to actually knock out the Metagross. It's hard to tell. So it looks like Tapu Fini plus Nihilego should be able to just clean up. He goes into Golisopod. I don't know why. My Psychic Terrain is still up, and I do outspeed you. And Thunderbolt will be able to knock him out. I don't see how Thunderbolt could not knock him out. Yeah, Aqua Jet does not hit me, buddy. And now I definitely am guaranteed to win. He kind of choked that one away a little bit, but I made some horrible plays as well, so I really can't expect anything. So that's going to be the first part of this session done, and let's move on to the next one.